An absolute firefight of a main event. Rob, we know about the respect that you have for Sean O'Malley. We're going to speak to Sean in just a moment, but what impresses you so much about him?
I've mentioned it time and time again, is his accuracy, spacing, pinpoint precision, and just the eyes that he has. He has a way of finding the chin, of finding the shot, of evading shots just enough so that he can land his own. And, you know, you mix that with his talent and his creative attitude towards fighting, because he throws shots from everywhere. He moves uniquely. And, mate, you have a very, very dangerous striker.
What did you make of his title fight win over Aljamain Sterling?
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw it going like that. I think, like I certainly said in my predictions that could happen, and I said the exact same things, that he has an uncanny way of finding the butt, of finding those shots. And honestly, he just exclamated my point. He showed exactly what he can do. And I feel like that threat is present in every fight he goes into, and that's going to play into his opponent's heads at some point.
Chito Vera is the only blemish on his record. How much can either fighter take out of that bout back in 2020?
Well, you see, that's where I guess I'm very curious and interested in this fight, because Chito said it himself, but I think everybody that is a fan and can watch him and watch his work, he's a dog, man. And he's in there till the bell rings, right? And we've seen with Sean and the fights that he's had against, say, Piotr, is that fighters that don't go away, that bite down on the mouth guard, that turn it into that dogfight, make it much closer than it has been for him. And Chito is bringing that to the table. He knows what he's bringing, and I think that Piotr fight against Sean, it only encourages him further to take this fight, to do that, to bring the dog out, to make it a dog fight for 5 rounds.
Sean said that Chito got lucky in that fight with the nerve injury. What did you make of that comment?
Yeah, maybe he did. You know, luck's a big part of the game sometimes.
Sure.
And it's not something you bank on, but sometimes it happens.
Well, I think if you're Chito, you take great confidence out of that, right? Because he'll walk away from that thinking, okay, my kick was strong enough to damage his leg. I can go and do it again, or I can feint low and go high this time around. I think you take great confidence from that if you're Chito.
Definitely. I think Chito's going to take confidence in the fact that he has beaten Sean. Yeah. You know, he's been in there with him already. And I think that is one of the biggest strengths Sean has over opponents he hasn't fought yet, is that because he's such a unique fighter and he's so dangerous and creative, people don't know how, you can't bring people in to emulate that. So he gets that surprise on a lot of people. But in the case of Chito, he's been in there with him. Yeah. He knows to a degree what to expect. And after the Piotr fight, like I said, he can see that making it that sort of fight is the road to victory.
And Marlon Vera doesn't strike me as the type of dude who gets overawed by a situation.
Mate, I'd say the one thing I've liked most in this fight build-up, in this fight lead-up, is the face-offs. I don't know what it is, but you can see it in Vera's eyes. Vera's like, I'm going to die here in this fight. Like, that's how far I'm willing to go. And you can see it in him, and that's so dangerous.
Well, let's hear what the champ has to say. Sean O'Malley joins us now. Sean, thanks so much for your time on Fox Sports Australia once again. Now, it's a massive rematch for you this weekend against the only man to defeat you in professional mixed martial arts. How desperately have you wanted this rematch ever since that result?
You know, to be honest, I've never really lost sleep over that fight. I've never really, it never really bothered me. You know, it played out the way it played out. I feel like right now in the position I'm in is because of how that fight played out. I had, you know, one of my most beautiful performances against Thomas Almeida right after that fight, you know, and you guys know how the rest of my fights have played out. So, you know, I've really never lost sleep over it. I never, you know, there was a part of me that thought that fight might not ever happen again because I didn't know if we would ever meet again. But, you know, stars aligned, here we are.
Why did you think that, well, why did that fight motivate you so much to perform like you did against Thomas Almeida next?
I wouldn't think it really motivated me to perform better next fight. You know, I never get in the octagon thinking I need to be motivated. You know, I'm always maxed out on motivation, ready to go. So it's not, I mean, if I would have beat Chito that night, I wouldn't have been fighting Thomas Almeida or, you know, Raulian Paiva. I would have moved up the ranks maybe a little bit too fast. So, yeah, just actually grateful for the, you know, how it all played out.
Hey, Sean, Robbie, mate. Thanks for making the time for us, especially fight week. I know how it is. I have a question on what you just touched on, right? So you had the loss, and you said to yourself that it didn't shake you at all. Obviously, it did, because you went into the next fight, and the fight after that, and the fight after that with absolutely show-stopping performances. You're a superstar. Tell me, do you put that down to your mentality? Do you put that down to just being able to, like, not think about it, wipe the slate, know who you are, and just get back at it? Or is there something else?
Yeah, first off, congratulations on a beautiful performance over Costa. That was badass fight. I was there live. That was fucking super impressive. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah, of course. I think, you know, when I think back on that fight, I just like to compete. I'm a competitor. I like to perform. I don't think, you know, even if I do suffer a loss someday, you know, I don't think it's going to make me gun shy or not as confident as I am. You know, I'm confident from my preparation I put in each fight camp. That's where I get my confidence from, not whether I won or lost the last fight. I get my confidence from knowing I've knocked out so many people. Since I've been 16 years old, I've been knocking people out yearly. So it's hard not to be confident. Sometimes I try not to be confident, but it's hard.
I've got to say, on that, like, you would have to be one of the most confident strikers in the division. Like, at the moment, like, hands down in the division, maybe in the UFC as a whole. Let me ask you, like, I'm sure you've heard synopsis breakdowns of your striking, like, all the technical errors, all the technical things you do wrong with your striking, but you're a genius because everything you do works. Tell me, the creative striking that you do, man, the pinpoint accuracy that you have, is that just from the confidence, or is that because you work and you have absolute faith in what you do?
Yeah, I think naturally I was kind of gifted with some speed. I think speed's the number one attribute in fighting, and I think I have that at a very high level. And then naturally I was just a pretty good athlete, and you know, that mixed with, I obviously put in the work, hard work. You know, I feel like I was gifted a good talent of being, you know, quick, and yeah, I think just a good recipe for success.
Sean, we've seen how you've evolved since that fight, but have you been impressed with what Chito's been able to deliver? Of course, notable wins over legends in Dominic Cruz and also Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people are kind of, you know, I'm a huge favorite. A lot of people are thinking this is an easy fight for me. You know, Aljo wasn't an easy fight for me, although I made it look easy. But, you know, Chito's not an easy fight for me by any means. This is a dude that's never been finished. He's never been dropped. Never been submitted, never been knocked out. This is a very, very, very tough, durable, skilled guy I have to fight. So, with that being said, I do believe I can go out there and put his lights out.
Well, you are building a legacy, and it's been fantastic to see, Sean. I did want to ask you about what the future might hold for you, and I know you're not necessarily looking past Chito, but Merab Dvalishvili, a dominant performance over Henry Cejudo recently. Is that a fight that excites you?
I would say it excites me more recently. Like, after that performance over Henry, it definitely is more exciting than, you know, Merab 3 or 4 fights ago. He was on, you know, 5-6 fight win streak, but he's just so boring. No one really got behind him. But, you know, more recently, he's been doing good on social media. He's been, you know, he's doing good. He's starting to get that, like, unbeatable kind of, people are starting to look at him as unbeatable. So, yeah, that makes it more exciting. So, yeah, definitely a potential next opponent, but I like to keep my options open.
Do you like Merab's social media game? Are you into what he posts?
I see random stuff every once in a while here or there, and, you know, he's trying. I'm not, you know, he's trying.
He certainly is. Another potential opponent that maybe somebody has flagged already is the move up to 145 pounds. We understood your reluctance to go up to featherweight while Alexander Volkanovski was champion. For now, he is not. Is Ilia Topuria a fight that interests you, Sean?
Yeah, Ilia is 100% an opponent that interests me. You know, I thought that would interest the UFC fan base. I called him out, got a lot of hate for it. They're like, oh, you got to defend your belt first, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I'm here for the people. I'm also, you know, I would, I'm not saying no to that fight. I would love that fight, but UFC is going to do what the people want to see. UFC is going to do what, you know, right for the business. And if that's me knock out Merab, I guess I'll do that. And then I'll fight Celia. But you never know. Hard to say. Obviously, got to go out there and deal with Chito first.
Yeah, were you surprised that he was able to dethrone Volk the way he did?
Yeah, I mean, knocking out Volk is that's, you know, very impressive. Hard to do. Obviously, Islam did it not too long before that, which I think definitely played a role into that fight. But Ilya was confident. He's scary. He's dangerous. He's short, and he's good.
Yeah, plenty of big fights on the horizon for you, and especially this weekend against Chito Vera. Sean, thanks so much for joining the show. Always so generous with your time. We really appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much, Sean. Take it easy, man. I'm rooting for you.
Yep. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Yeah, there it was. Suga Sean O'Malley, one of the best in the division, best that the bantamweight division I think has seen in a very long time. A very sharp striker. Your assessment of his overall game?
Mate, and I've said this several episodes, several interviews, several everything. I think he has an uncanny ability to find his mark. His accuracy and his pinpoint precision, along with his timing. He mentioned it when I asked him the question about his instincts. He was blessed with you know, a lot of talent, but I think it's more than that. I think it's his eyes. I think it's his timing, his spacing. He does things very well. Not only that, though, he has the other side of the coin, which is that superstar kind of power, that social media influence. So I'm very interested to see how, you know, this shadow that was his loss, how he corrects it and how that pushes him forward in the light.
His eyes and his precision, is that learned? Is that something that you can pick up in training, or is that something that is also God-given?
I definitely think it is God-given, because I'm very much of the opinion that you're born to fight. There's a certain caste of people that, you know, thousands of years ago would have been put with a sword and shield and thrown in the front line. I just think there's a caste of people that's what they were born to do. But that doesn't mean it can't get rusty. That doesn't mean you can't work it and you can't improve it. So I'm sure the way he trains, the way he works his timing, you can see on his pad works, he works his spacing, the way he works his timing, it all improves that. And not to mention confidence, I think, is one of the strongest weapons you can have in this game, and he has no shortage of that.